Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're shifting gears a little. We're looking at the sources you sent about, well, domestic drama.
Yeah, specifically from this really interesting blog, the Soap Opera Journal blog by Solano Drummond. It's got this great humorous take.
It really does. And it's not about, those perfect Instagram homes.
No, definitely not. It digs into the messy reality, framing home life as this stage for constant negotiation. It says that's where the real stuff happens.
Exactly. So our mission today is to pull out the life lessons hidden in, well, the household messes. The blog argues these aren't just annoyances.
Right. They're tests of communication, respect, basically how love works day to day.
Love it. And the tagline captures it perfectly. The daily drama with a hint of clean. It even says cleaning up messes, whether they're physical or, emotional, can be surprisingly therapeutic.
It's a great frame, and we're going to zero in on one specific conflict that Solano writes about again and again. It's sort of the perfect symbol.
Okay, what's that?
The mystery pot.
The mystery pot. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, you know the one, the leftover pot that gets shoved straight into the fridge instead of into a container.
Oh, that pot. Yes, the one that absolutely could have, should have been in a container. I know it well.
Exactly. And Solano uses this one tiny everyday thing to teach these, 4 huge life lessons. We should probably unpack those.
Let's do it. Where do we start? Maybe with the immediate fallout, the cost of it all.
Good place to start. Lesson number 1, drawn right from that pot, hits procrastination head on.
Okay.
It's titled, and this is just brilliant, "The Lazy Shortcut is the Most Expensive Habit." And the blog describes the pot itself not just as cookware, but just an aluminum sculpture of procrastination.
Wow, aluminum sculpture of procrastination.
Yeah.
That's quite a phrase. It really captures it.
It does, doesn't it? Because it highlights the cost. Do you think you're saving, 2 minutes by not getting a container?
Yeah, tops.
But the blog points out what you're actually buying yourself later. You're buying yourself time-scraping, dried-on sauce off the fridge shelf.
Ugh, the worst.
And maybe off the pot itself, because now it's practically cemented on. Greasy shelves, double the washing up. It just spirals.
It's that classic short-term gain, long-term pain thing.
Exactly. Exponential future work.
And you can see this everywhere, right? Not just kitchens, like in work stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Skipping documentation on a project. That's the mystery pot.
Totally. Or putting off that bit of code maintenance.
Yeah. You save 5 minutes now, but you just created like a 2-hour headache for someone else down the line. Or even for your future self.
It's the cost of complexity that's just built on, well, laziness, frankly. That one small choice messes things up for everyone else using the system.
Whether the system is the fridge or, I don't know, the project management software.
Precisely. If you put off organizing, the cleanup cost, it just balloons later. It's never proportional.
Okay, so we get the cost. It's high. The next logical step is you try to communicate, right? You try to fix the behavior.
You'd think so. But Solano points out this pot war can go on for decades.
Decades.
Yeah.
Wow. So just saying put it in a container over and over clearly doesn't cut it.
Nope. Nagging fails. Which leads right into lesson 2. It's about how we communicate.
Okay.
The lesson is communication isn't yelling, it's repetition with style.
Repetition with style. I like that. It suggests turning it into something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Solano talks about becoming a domestic educator, even a curriculum developer for this stuff.
Huh. Okay, so what does this style actually look like? How do you avoid just sounding like a nag, but, with flair?
Well, the blog says the style needs to be calm, patient, and occasionally sarcastic.
Okay, occasional sarcasm. I can see that.
And crucially, you shift the focus. You stop talking about the problem, the pot, and you start highlighting the solution.
The container.
The container. You celebrate the tool. Solano gives this great example script.
Oh, yeah.
When pointing out the plastic boxes, you describe them as not decorative, functional, revolutionary, stackable wonders.
Stackable wonders. That's brilliant. You're basically marketing the desired behavior.
You got it. You're making the right way seem aspirational, not just some chore you have to do. It's about the benefit.
That feels like a really smart shift. Professionally, it's like instead of a grumpy memo saying don't do X, you run a campaign showing how this new software, these stackable wonders, will actually make your life easier.
Exactly. It taps into motivation. It changes the whole vibe from "you're annoying me" to "hey, let me show you a better way to live." The style is what keeps the repetition from just being draining.
Okay, but let's be real.
Yeah.
Sometimes even stylish repetition doesn't work. Habits are stubborn.
Oh, for sure.
So what happens when the calm, patient, Occasionally sarcastic domestic educator still finds that aluminum sculpture sitting there.
Well, that's when things get a little more tactical.
Hmm.
This brings us to lesson 3, probably the most provocative one.
Uh-oh. Okay, what is it?
Revenge is a teaching tool if done with elegance.
Whoa! Revenge, isn't that just petty? A bit of a slippery slope.
The source is very clear on this. It's not about being nasty or starting a war. The elegance is key. It has to follow 2 rules:
Okay. Which are?
proportionality and reciprocity. The consequence has to match the offense, and it should mirror it in some way.
Mirror it. How?
Well, the example given is perfect. If the pot disruptor values something specific, you introduce a proportional disruption to that.
Right.
Their nice cold beer waiting in the fridge. Every time the offending pot occurs, Solano takes the beer out and leaves it warm on the counter.
Ouch. Instant feedback?
Instant, specific, and definitely noticeable. The blogger calls this whole exchange the circle of domestic life. Hot pot, warm beer, balance restored.
Balance restored. That framing makes it sound less like petty revenge and more like
Yeah,
a natural consequence. Game theory in the kitchen.
kind of, yeah. The person leaving the pot experiences an immediate tangible cost for their action, not just a complaint later on. It's nonverbal diplomacy.
Right. It forces them to connect their action to an undesirable outcome for them.
Exactly. And you can map this professionally, too, if someone keeps skipping the vital documentation step.
The mystery pot of project management.
Right. The elegant revenge isn't yelling. It's maybe structuring their next task, so it immediately depends on the very documentation they skipped.
Ah, so you create an unavoidable roadblock for them, caused by their own shortcut.
You force the feedback loop. It makes the cost of the shortcut personal and immediate. It's teaching accountability through, let's say, calibrated inconvenience.
Calibrated inconvenience. I like that. It feels active, not passive-aggressive.
It reinforces that we're all part of a shared system. You disrupt it, it disrupts you back, proportionally.
Okay, this focus on consequences and shared systems kind of leads us towards the deeper meaning behind all this, right? Which I think is the final lesson.
It is. It ties everything together. This comes under the blog's general theme of pride and shine.
Pride and shine.
Lesson 4 is the philosophical bedrock. Cleanliness is an act of self-respect.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about being tidy for tidiness' sake.
Not at all. Solano argues that taking care of your shared space, the kitchen, the office, whatever, is fundamentally about your own self-worth and respect for the people sharing it with you.
So letting things get messy or disorganized is almost like saying you don't deserve a pleasant environment, or that others don't.
That's the implication. It reframes cleaning or organizing not as a burden, but as an investment in your own peace, your own dignity, and the smooth functioning of the group. It's about wanting your space to feel good, not like a battlefield, as the blog puts it.
That elevates the whole conversation beyond just, whose turn it is to clean the fridge.
Definitely. And it brings us to the blog's ultimate takeaway, which is just dripping with that characteristic blend of insight and sarcasm.
Let's hear it.
After laying out all these costs, communication tactics, and diplomatic pressures, the conclusion is cleaning the house is easy, training humans is the real chore.
That sums it up perfectly. The physical work is straightforward. It's the people management, the behavior shaping, the negotiation.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
That's the real domestic drama.
And the blog's introduction really sets that stage too, calling home a stage where ordinary people play extraordinary roles. Teacher, negotiator, therapist, and occasionally, janitor of justice.
Janitor of justice. It's just gold. It perfectly captures the tone, the humor, the slight edge of revenge, but also the underlying affection,
Yeah, it's not mean-spirited, it's realistic affection.
And it shows how much you learn about relationships from these tiny repeated actions. The mystery pot tells you more about respect and consideration than, like, a big grand apology might.
That's so true. The small stuff is where the patterns live.
Absolutely.
So wrapping this up, it's amazing how much insight about accountability, communication, even negotiation strategy we can pull from a blog about leftover stew.
Right. Understanding the real cost of those lazy shortcuts. Learning to repeat yourself but with style. Maybe even employing a bit of elegant consequence.
These are tools you can use anywhere people share space or resources. An office, a team project, not just a home fridge.
It's all about tackling that friction caused by avoidance, by people not thinking about the system. We all encounter those aluminum sculptures of procrastination in different forms.
We really do. Solano Drummond's genius is kind of normalizing the effort it takes to maintain order, and reminding us that the negotiation, it's constant.
Yeah, it never really stops.
So here's something for you to think about using that great metaphor from the blog. If your home, or maybe your workplace, isn't a perfect showroom, but actually a stage, where you play roles like teacher, negotiator, therapist, even that janitor of justice. What role are you playing today in your own drama? How are you restoring balance or teaching accountability? Something to reflect on.